Yeah, hi, welcome to this after show.
Hello.
We made it.
I'm still alive.
Woo.
That's
Man.
yeah.
That was like once we hit, like, it started out like, okay, but once right before the break with that big news, like, that's when shit really hit the fan. When oh man, Mathis said that there was gonna be big things happening this episode, but that was not exactly what I was expecting. I
assumed we were just being called to be like, look, here's some information on your son.
Yeah,
Richard,
I thought the reason we were gonna be called was because like they had found Ollie's son, and I was like, okay, cool. But no, that was whoa. Oh, not only like first of all, walking into a freaking what's his name, all just completely
Norris,
brutalized. Norris. Oh my gosh, that was horrifying.
Yeah, that was a surprise for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
then,
not prepared for that much.
Malice told me pretty much all of that stuff. What I didn't know was how you all were going to react to everything.
See, I'm interested to know, like, I guess I have a question as to why can't, like, Camille would not have been, like, she wouldn't have handled it. Did she just find out in the last, like, 24 hours?
Of what?
About the Norris situation? Like, why, when we were at the Elysium, did Camille... Like, that's what I found so interesting, is that she did Camille's, like...
Norris was still on the run. My assumption, and you may have information on this, is... My assumption is Norris was still on the run and trying to fight back, which is why he sent people after Ava. And I assume that Camille, being a Ventrue who hadn't exposed herself to being, like, really working for the Toreador, had been like, yeah, here's some information on Norris or something.
I am not sure. Did Mathis do something with my character that I'm not aware of?
No, that's what I'm saying is, like, I just find it really interesting because we just went through this whole episode where they made, like, a very public display of, like, placing people, and she, like, used her power very publicly, and then it was almost like a very poignant, like, prick at our coterie specifically to be like, come look at this behind closed doors. I want you all to see it. I think Ollie had kind of mentioned that too. It was very pointed at our group because they knew that we had helped her, and they knew that Norris was like, we felt like
that part. Why you guys were in the room is what you're asking. Okay.
No, why didn't Camille take her place at the Elysium? Why
because she wasn't you were picked by
I was picked by Bella.
And I don't know if they would show that at the Elysium, like Norris completely like.
I don't know. Like, I don't really.
Would she not have put her on at the Elysium? Why wouldn't she have made a public announcement that Camille was taking, other than the fact that
that's on Bella?
Because you don't want to make a scene, and I guess designating quite a relatively low-ranked vampire compared to normal primogens, right?
I'm not gonna say.
I guess it really just depends.
I'm higher generation than you guys think I am.
If they had Norris at that time, because it was like what 2 days later that we were there.
Sorry,
yeah, I guess that's true. So maybe they didn't
but
know.
That's a Mathis question, not a question.
Yeah, Mathis. So for the after show,
because I don't know.
Why did
because it's Bella? It was on Bella to choose when.
Why did Camille not get announced as Primogen at the Elysium, and why in private to us with the dead corpse?
I know why you were involved in the corpse thing, because that was
because there's a piece of information that she didn't have quite that night that she needed to.
That's what I had thought. Like timeline wise, it was just off. Like
she just was waiting on a couple of things that was only going to take a few more nights, and she wanted to make sure Norris deserved the death she gave him.
That was on Bella making that decision, right?
That was Bella's decision. Yeah. But again, it still feels
very. I don't know because it's not my decision. It's not like I placed myself there. It's like Bella.
Right. Yeah. No. It still feels very.
Which is crazy that Bella chose me because I'm a Ventrue.
Yeah.
Well, that's some Ventrue.
They need a Ventrue on the and Primogen.
They need a Ventrue on the council.
Instead of the Ventrue picking a Ventrue, she picked. And
that's
she
what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying is interesting. But I know why, because of like how loyal I have been.
Yeah, so fuck you to the Ventrue. It's also I can have my Ventrue in charge of
Right, exactly.
It's my Ventrue. Yeah.
Every move she made, from letting the La Sombra in to not allowing them to pick their own to appointing Camille, all of that was a giant middle. Every single one was a middle finger to the Ventrue of old.
So, question.
But the thing is, Camille is also of the same strand. Like, she also doesn't like what has happened.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about the La Sombra?
Camille wants change.
How do you feel about the La Sombra? You, Camille.
Oh.
You're a Ventrue.
Yeah, I'm not going to share that right now. Because I need more information from Mathis on what I know. Because I don't know. I don't know what my character knows versus what I, Maggie, know, you know?
Oh, they're horrible Sabat types, aren't they?
Well, I don't care for Sabat.
So I want to kick around the questions. See
Are we in the after show right now?
Yeah. We started it because people have to go.
Sorry,
we went really late, so we were trying to get it going.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
What do we think is happening with my Mala?
I know what's happening.
Oh God. Yeah.
So here's the real question. How many of you think it's my dad?
I think that is a really, really interesting theory.
That's a good theory, because like, why would he want you to become a kindred? Like, why? You know,
Yeah.
that's got to be one of the. He's like,
that means that he has a.
I know.
I know, and there's a much bigger plan. Yeah. Oh God.
A lot of day one things that come into fruition, slowly but surely.
I think it's time that I put out the second part to Ollie's story. Get a little more out there.
Yes, do it.
Promise, I deliberately don't read your story because I want it to come out in RP to me. So I deliberately, I really want to, but
yeah.
You should at least read that first part that was put out, because everything has been explained.
Okay, cool. I can read that now. Okay.
Yeah. That part you can definitely read. Yeah. What an episode. Answers, I think. Obviously, they're still continuing. Each answer raises questions, but you can still put the bookend on a few things, like Camille and who her loyalties lie, which is nice. Ollie finally got a little bit of an answer.
Where her loyalties truly lie. So you're saying she's not a triple agent?
That would be really deep.
I was about to say, yeah. Chat's like, oh, she's actually Sabat playing Camarilla playing.
People really think I'm Sabat.
Well, chat was not just chat, but Discord as well for weeks and weeks when it comes to Camille. They've been just going down such a deep rabbit hole that they were just leaving the other possibilities that are more realistic away. They're like, no, this is what she is. She's this crazy clan, deep in bed with the Sabat, playing both sides. I'm like,
she's deep in bed with love.
I'm like,
she's deep in bed with a lot of things.
There comes that balance of like, well, you know, I want there to be a twist, but you don't want it to be so ridiculous that it just loses its believability.
Yeah,
the believability is lost when it's like far too convoluted.
Why she is doing what she's doing.
Yeah, but you guys got answers. Yeah. There was turmoil, which is exactly what I wanted. I expected it.
Oh man.
But I told Maggie last night or the night before, I'm like, prepare, because I'm down for party death happening.
Yeah,
like I expected the reveal.
I thought someone was going to attack me.
To cause some sort of outburst, whether that night or another night. I thought there was going to be a fight. I thought there was going to be. My bet was on either Maggie or Josh dying, one of them dying, especially if you somehow got them together. But you avoided it. So
I totally thought my sire was going to attack me. After I hit him, I was like, it's going to come to blows now.
The thing is, though, if you're tanky, like the same way that Camille didn't really take the hit that you hit me with, you don't do any damage.
Yeah, your fortitude.
Especially if you didn't use your vampire powers. If you just use your physical powers, go ahead and hit me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't actually do damage to me.
But if it was the two Nos trading blows, they have potence but not fortitude, so they would quite quickly, if they started hitting potence on.
It depends on who the character is, right? But isn't your sire tanky?
No, he's practically built just like myself.
Yep, very similar build.
Okay.
But you did superficial damage that is halved, and then depending on his blood potency, in 3 seconds he can heal almost all of it, if not all.
I probably just busted his lip at best.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I just caught him by surprise.
Yeah, and probably 3 seconds later it was gone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. It doesn't really do much.
Yeah. But if they were turning their powers on, they would.
Yeah, you thought that was going to be the moment.
I definitely provoked him at that point, but I was trying to provoke him on a bit more of a mental level. The physical outburst was for a mental response.
I've got the peg in my notes board of this is going to come back and we're going to get fucked over, but it's going to be because of this incident.
Yeah, I just think the thing with older vampires too is they're more patient and less impulsive, I think. Emotionally impulsive. You guys are really young and impulsive. I know you don't like bringing up age all the time, but
you might leave a present.
It's true,
well, it's the older you are, the more likely your humanity is a lot lower, which detaches you from what you used to feel. And all of you you've all knocked down a humanity at this point. You're already, a year and a half into being kindred. You're already one step away from clinging onto the humanity you once had. You're already feeling the call of the beast pull you further and further away, and that just happens the longer you live.
I just want to say, keep in mind, Camille's humanity is not that
It's the same as Zach's, and I think Dakota's.
Everybody's a 6 now, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think everybody's at 6.
Yep.
No, I don't think.
You're 7.
You're at 7? Saito's at 7? I thought you were, for some reason I thought you were at 6, but yeah, you're at
Saito
you were
almost
definitely
murdered someone tonight.
I was
Yeah.
at 7.
I feel bad for Saito, man. Like, out of all, as a player, I don't think Ava does, but like, I was like, man, out of all of this, like, man, he got betrayed so hard.
I feel nothing bad for Saito. I'm like,
I feel bad for him.
I feel
man.
bad as Saito.
The thing is, you don't know Saito as well as Camille does.
True.
Saito's a prick,
I mean,
and he probably
not Ava
deserves
doesn't
it.
particularly.
You're beyond a prick. You're
but-
like a psychopath.
yeah.
Right.
I like
but-
Ollie likes Shuichi. I feel like
Yeah,
there's
because he
borderline
just
a budding. Well, sure, but like I can't judge him for all of the things that he's done in his past unless he's like, I killed a fucking whole school bus full of children. Like, oh, but maybe we can't be friends anymore. Okay, maybe we can. But
it's not that bad. It's bad. It's not that bad. But like
Right.
every time Ollie does something and Saito's there, it just brings Saito that little bit closer to just saying, okay, whatever, just tell me to do things and I'll be your best friend. I need this.
that's kind of what it is. Like, there's a
Same with
budding
Dakota.
friendship waiting to happen, and like the same with Dakota, right? I feel like Zach is going to get us all fucked up though,
Yep.
real bad.
Yep, Zach. From the beginning, Dakota has always said that Zach will fuck us over. It always.
When we were in that room and he's like, I'm gonna walk up and put my it's like, in that moment I almost went, Ollie's gonna walk up and backhand the fuck out of me. What are you doing?
No, I want to do an insult and be like, doesn't taste that blue to me. Fuck him.
Yeah, that just seemed like it was backhand worthy.
Yeah.
Not
And now he's
yours.
literally trying to get in bed with her. Regardless of why he's doing it. He still wants to.
Half and half.
The whole neck kiss and the tracing around the arm, I was just like, you just wrap him
Yep.
a little harder.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man.
And yet
she's
he
a
called
siren.
Dakota stupid because she shared food with her.
The thing is, Zach knows that she's doing that, but Zach appreciates the fact that she's doing it so well that he's like, you know what, this is fine.
Yeah, but the problem is, for me anyways, and Dakota's issue is that you find respect in the fact that she does it. So, which means that we just share a completely different view of why we go about waking up every night.
It's very interesting. It's interesting to me how you guys like change your trust, especially since like Camille has never lied to you. He's the one who mentioned Anarchs.
No. He lied to everyone
No.
all the time, and that's why
The conversation
Saito
that
is going
Camille
to
had
kill you.
with Butcher was honest. The conversation she
Yeah.
had with Dakota was honest. The conversation she had with Zach was honest. She hasn't really talked to Ava as much, but
Yeah.
Oh, poor
like
Ava.
the single conversations that she's had with all of you has been
And funnily
part of her
enough,
life,
Ava might have been one of the biggest cogs in the machine to put you into the council.
I know, which is the most interesting thing out of all of it. I love it.
They could be best friends.
We could be.
Very well
Oh, I
put.
think that things will be interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. If we keep running into Camille, I think that could become more of
I mean, you'll definitely run into her again at some point.
Oh yeah.
I'm really glad that I was able to bring any kind of like lightness to this session about like Abigail though, because that was so needed. It was just so heavy all the way through.
Yeah.
As soon as you told me, like, hey, we're gonna have everybody here, you want to do everybody? And I was like, just give me a few days. I gotta think.
I gotta figure that one out. Yeah.
I gotta brainstorm because
I did wonder why Camille didn't show up pretty early when we had Suichi with us. I was like, why isn't Camille not showing?
Yep.
All makes sense.
I literally woke up because I the things that I knew as opposed to the things that I didn't was that Camille was going to be rewarded for her service. Like, and that was actually going to happen during Elysium of the last session if she was the guest in Josh.
See? Okay.
Okay.
It could have happened.
It could have happened,
Yeah.
but that would have been the reveal there. But then I was like, all right, so there needs to be another reason.
sorry.
I went back through the notes that she sent me, all the information she fed. And I needed to think about what would be the proper thing to do. And I was like, I woke up in the middle of the night and I jotted it down. And I was like, I wrote down Camille Primogen Council, and that was it. And I went back to sleep. And the next day I was like, okay, is this idea still as crazy as I feel like it is? And I started to talk to Megan. I'm like, here's what I've got. Here's what I think is going to work out. Here's your reward for everything you've done. The reason that she was able to strike that night and take the princedom is because you were the one that let them know that Mark is missing. And Mark is a pretty big name within the council, which means they're already weak and not operating nearly as strongly as they would if Mark was here. So here's the reason they're going to strike, because Camille fed them that information on top of all the other stuff that she's been feeding them. And Norris already being a thorn in her side. What better way to insult Ventrue and those who are loyal to Norris than to give everything Norris is literally to Camille and then have her take his seat? I was like, that's going to be the reveal, and do that. That's going to be, and the party is the reason. Again, the party in your indecision, and your unwillingness for like 10 weeks to really declare anything is the whole reason these gears started to turn in the first place. Which is why you are being thanked. The coterie is being thanked because you unwillingly gave the Camarilla information whenever Camille was around. Some of it was good. Some of it wasn't really all that vague. She had to infer some of it due to some of the actions, but that plus Ava's 3-month stint working with Sienna was the whole reason the government shaped as it did.
Yeah.
Man.
Lots of notes, lots of gears.
Yep.
Lots of just things had to fall into place in the right way. Because initially, when I went down this road initially, I was like, I'm 90% sure Norris is going to take over. Norris is going to be the one that takes over.
Wow. And how things have changed. Holy crap, that's crazy.
Norris was not the one to take over.
Clearly.
And then Cammy was the one to take over Norris.
Yep. Again, not planned.
Yeah.
Wow, not planned at all.
I didn't find out about this until like a couple days ago, and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm gonna die at some point. Like, I
mentioned like,
Max
has said this stuff, it's amazing, and I was like, oh, she's probably overselling it. No, you lowballed it.
Yeah.
Damn.
That and the Rudy revelation.
Yeah, I think that was
the two big ones. Were the two big ones for today.
Yeah, the Rudy revelation though just brings more questions, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it helps, right? Like, obviously, it raises more questions because then the question is, well, who was Rudy really? Why didn't he do it? Why did he call on a favor to do it? But it also helps rule out the suspicion for Bub that his sire has his son.
Yeah.
Right.
So there was answers like I hate just feeding questions and never giving answers. So
That's one of my pet hates about like books that have like sequels and stuff is they just go, we're ending on a question or ending on a question. What you did was you answered a question and gave more questions, and also with the Camille plotline, you gave answers. And it's like, we actually have something out of this and a few more questions. It's just more questions.
It's really easy to just DM and just be like, here's 1,000 questions, and I'm gonna hook you with a question every single, but then never answer them, or then rush answer them. It just feels like, oh, you were pulled like Lost, like the show Lost.
Yep.
It's like,
I literally had this conversation with my DM for our work campaign. The same thing, and he brought up Lost. Like he's like, you can't
it's funny. I've had a conversation this week liking a game to Lost, and being like, yeah, it's so funny.
I'm pretty sure I had that conversation last week as well.
I'm sure any of us who have ever DM'd like that at one point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got my players. They're curious. Now I'm just gonna always make them curious.
You gotta give them satisfaction.
You gotta.
Is that Camille saying that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And, the players are always working towards something, and you guys are some of the best players I've ever had. So like, not rewarding your actions is like, why would I ever not give you guys? It's still gonna be miserable, and you might hate the answers, but at least you'll get answers.
Right.
Like, I'm always super anxious about like what's gonna happen. I'm like, damn, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna kill her.
Yeah, I really thought they were gonna kill me in like find a way or something. I was like, oh man, which is, and the fact that you told Shuichi so quickly, without even like reconvening.
No,
without even reconvening together.
I know.
especially after like my thing, I
I
continually
mean,
always
Dakota
tell you
was
guys.
looking for him. Her goal was to
Yeah.
tell him first.
That's interesting.
She was looking for him. That's why she crawled in his car. She didn't expect Molly. She was
Oh,
just going to
wow.
be in his car.
Yeah, she was just watching
Oh.
from afar.
I
gonna
was
wait for you
watching,
in
and
the
when he
car.
walked up, I got in the car thinking he'd hop in, and then Molly happened to be there.
Yeah, she wanted to side tell.
Oh.
Whereas Zach was not going to say anything because it was like, it's not my thing to tell. It'll come out because she's a primogen,
Like-
but it's not my
Yeah.
thing to tell.
That's part of it was like, yeah, I feel like it's not really my place or our place to say anything, but I was like, you know what? Let's just tell him he's gonna.
Fuck places. Dakota doesn't give
Yeah.
a shit anymore.
I was actually gonna have a meeting with Shuichi, which is gonna be interesting, but then all of that happened, so I'm like, I guess I just don't do anything else this episode.
He's gonna have
And
a
I leave
meeting.
it to Mathis to how he wants it to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just there was. I could have gone for like another hour and a half. There was like
Right.
there genuinely was like 2 or 3 other things I wanted to do this
Yeah.
session that I'll just have to get to. You know.
Like, there's a couple things that I would like to do, but I didn't want to, I was like,
Yeah,
In which
yeah,
case, we'll have to have you back again.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Suichi.
Oh yeah, please.
Okay.
He's got at least another episode to live.
Oh, Suichi, you are far from done. You've been meddling with things that are
I was
beyond.
about to say, yeah, you've gone a little deep.
Why would I not? This is
Oh,
so
it's
much
tempting, but like, and I'm sure
At
you're
least
aware
with
of
Camille,
this
you
as
know
a
what you're
player.
getting in bed
Oh,
with.
God, yeah.
With Suichi.
do you
Okay,
Like,
so
Suichi is meddling with things that I even think Suichi knows could
Yeah.
end him.
like Shuichi's so you know the touchstone and the conviction, that's what I'm thinking.
Convictions, yeah,
The conviction for Shuichi is
Nothing's above me.
it's anything worth knowing is worth sacrifice. So even sacrificing parts of himself
Wow.
is worth that extra power, the knowledge, the advantage. And I am totally okay. Like,
You're
you're
playing
just
to that
fucking me
then.
up.
Like,
From the things that
like-
the
Yeah.
things that you've been,
Which is interesting that like he's that way, and then Camille has multiple too, but hers is like kill only the unworthy, and then
Yep.
without a cause you're nothing.
Yep.
And never deny true love. Like those are her 3 things. She's like pretty tied.
You're pretty human.
Yeah, she's pretty tied to
Yeah.
humanity.
And that
Which
Zach
is so
genuinely
interesting.
meant that. He was like,
Yeah.
there's obviously some humanity to you, and I think you would be a better primogen because of it, and hold on to that.
And I think for Camille, she wants to see change. Like there's been so much, but I think Camille doesn't. know
Chicago
what
has
she's-
just been very.
Camille doesn't know what she's getting herself into either.
Yeah, I mean,
Zach wanted to
Chicago
ask that, but didn't want to tip his hand.
for Saito and Camille, they know at least. The other code are too young, but the Kindred Society in Chicago was actually pretty nice until Maxis appeared, and once Maxis appeared, everything started going to shit very, very, very quickly. Which is why they've been so eager to redo things, to bring peace back to Chicago. Because Max was probably one of the kindest princes Chicago's seen, as far as like acceptance.
He seemed pretty nice to me. He let me live when my side died.
Yep, Max
like
was
Zach
personable.
definitely liked Max.
I think Max's humanity by the books. He is a character from Requiem. Actually, is where I pull him from. His humanity is a 7. I'm pretty sure it might be a 6, but it's
What
a
was
7.
his
Like
Mine was a
Generation?
7 until I.
must be like 7, right?
yeah, his gen is like 7, 8, or 9, somewhere around there.
And humanity's up, damn.
How do you
Yeah,
get your
that's-
humanity back up?
Experience.
XP times the new level, so it's like
And new
70.
touchstones, I believe. Like,
Yeah.
if you go
Holy
out of your
shit.
way and spend time making human contacts, and
Connections
friends.
with your touchstones and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But other than that, it's an
Oh.
EXP sync.
Hmm.
Like blood potency. Blood potency is an EXP sync as well.
in the
That's
other
If that works
direction.
out, I might be my way back up onto Humanity 7. Who knows?
I mean, out of everybody here, Ollie's probably the closest to climbing back towards humanity, actually. I would say.
True story. Ollie is definitely looking forward to this suit, but not for the very obvious reason.
So that he can go impress a woman.
Yeah, definitely, but it's not Ava.
Not Ava.
No,
yeah.
it's the woman that Ava reminds him of.
No, incorrect.
I have a
Ava
feeling-
reminds me of his ex.
I was about to say, I have my thoughts of who it is.
She's already been introduced up to this point. I've said her name. It's Jules.
And that's the thing, like, you ask Saito to do a thing, and he's like, I am in. Like, this sounds both fun and,
Dangerous.
well, I mean,
Mostly
you're in a
Masquerade
suit.
or Masquerade
That's
breach.
dangerous.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. There's just man.
Anyway, we have to end this after show here because we are way over time. So thank you for watching, and we're gonna go. And oh my god, I love you all so much. Anyway, until next time.
Seriously.
I guess.
Goodbye.
Bye.